Techno-governments are coming. Major tech corporations have been successful in lobbying state governments in getting legislation proposed that will give them the power to create governments where they run these areas under their control, where the population is subject to whatever whims and dictates major tech have. Aloha everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Salla and this is Exopolitics Today. On Friday, an article appeared in The Debrief where it discussed techno-government legislation that was about to be proposed in the state of Nevada by the Governor Steve Sisolak. The bill authorizes techno-governments in areas that have not been developed, that are owned by any major tech industry that specializes in areas of interest that are related to things such as 5G, blockchain technology, the Internet of Things, or artificial intelligence. So what this means is that any company that has sufficient money, and you need to have like $250 million to begin investing, and you need to purchase land of over 50,000 acres in the state of Nevada, which is uninhabited, undeveloped, and you have to commit to developing that land over a period of 10 years with $1 billion. So if you can do that, then the state of Nevada is going to give you the authority to create a techno-government, which means that in that area, that 50,000 acres or more, you can actually set up your own court system, you can set up your own school system, you can set up the police, you can even set up a taxation system. You have all the power of a local county government. So what this does is that it gives these major tech companies the ability to just go into undeveloped areas, buy them out, and start from a blank slate and build up a smart city. And that smart city will be a hub of high-tech developments, innovations, things such as the Internet of Things, the 5G, the artificial intelligence. All of these innovative areas are going to have a lot of funding poured into them, into these areas where you actually have techno-governments running them. What this means is that these areas where these techno-governments take shape will have incredible power over the population and the workers that go there. Now, to begin with, it's probably going to take some time for workers to start flocking there, but with the state of the US economy, we can imagine thousands and eventually millions of workers flocking into these areas in states such as Nevada and anywhere else where the state governor decrees an area that fulfills whatever criteria can be handed over to these high-tech companies, and they can establish techno-governments in order to attract funding. And so this is going to have major implications. Now, what this means is that the many thousands and eventually millions of people that flock into these smart cities that are run by techno-governments, you are totally controlled by that government, by the corporations. So such things such as transhumanism, where people have neural implants or they have other kinds of technologies incorporated into their bodies so that they can integrate with these smart cities, these will be areas where they flourish. Normal people, you the individual watching this video, you're not going to be competitive because you won't have some of these features such as a neural link implanted into your body or any kind of technological interface incorporated into your body for whatever reason that you feel that it's inappropriate. But those that are willing to do that, well, they're going to flock into these cities, into these techno-government run areas, and they are the ones that are going to get the jobs. Or eventually, this is what's going to happen, because anyone that wants to work in one of these technologically run cities, they need to be able to integrate smoothly with the Internet of Things, 5G, artificial intelligence. So what we are seeing now is going to be the development of a kind of two-tier track of human development in the United States, and this is going to spread around the globe. You're going to have people that go into these techno-government run cities where they interface with the smart grid and the smart technologies there. They are going to essentially become transhumanists because once you subject to having an implant put into you where you can 24/7 interact with the internet, or just by flicking your eyes 3 times or something like that, that all of a sudden you got the internet communicating with you, then that's going to be where you are protected, where you can take part in the innovations in this kind of future of high-tech run governments. People agreeing or participating in the transhumanist agenda by allowing modification of their body, whether it's genetic enhancement or technological enhancements, they are going to gravitate to these high-tech cities, these smart cities. People who disagree with that transhumanist future, the normal population, well, you're going to stay in the current major cities, which is just going to slowly decay with all of the innovative funding flowing out and going into these high-tech cities. So all of the major cities, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, are gradually over time going to become slums, as all of the population, all of the people looking for jobs and being part of the innovative wave that is coming are going to flock to these high-tech cities. I mean, Nevada is just going to be the first, but you can imagine states such as California, New York, many of the major states are going to hand over parcels of land, 50,000 acres or more, to any high-tech company that fulfills the criteria for this innovation to set up their smart city. What we see now is a two-track future unfolding. Those that are going to participate in the transhumanist agenda are going to go to the smart cities, and those that disagree are going to stay in rural areas or in the decaying urban metropolises such as New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and so forth. So it really is a dystopian future if something dramatic doesn't happen. And what needs to happen? Well, the only answer really is full disclosure. Full disclosure of all of the advanced technologies that have been suppressed for over a century in the United States and other countries. And as these advanced technologies are released, then the innovation can happen all across the country. And so you can have things such as anti-gravity cars and spacecraft being developed. You can have new energy generators being built so that people can innovate at their homes, in their local communities, building up whatever future you want with the power, with the new travel technologies that all exist but have been highly classified. Because if this doesn't happen, if we don't have full disclosure, what is going to occur is that more and more people are going to go to these smart cities that are going to be run by these techno-governments. And more of them are going to be forced to become part of the transhumanist agenda by having neural implants so that they can interface with the internet so that they can be competitive. And so that is a really dystopian future, but it is happening now. Right today, this is February 26th, the state of Nevada is proposing the first bill authorizing the creation of one of these techno-governments. We also need to keep in mind what Bill Gates has been doing, buying vast acreage all over the United States. All of the former private farms are being bought out by Bill Gates and other companies, high-tech companies, because they see what's coming. They know this is the wave of the future. All of these techno-governments that are going to be permitted by state governments throughout the United States, that all they require is land to set up their mega cities. So Bill Gates is already part of this process. So this is a plan, everyone. This is really designed to create this two-tier system where you're going to have these high-tech cities where you have people all part of the transhumanist agenda that are going to be interfacing with artificial intelligence, and the high-tech companies run it all. And the normies, those of us that are not wanting to be part of all of this madness, and we're going to be outside of that. And we really need to do whatever is necessary to be able to prepare ourselves for what's coming. This is a topic I'm going to be discussing in great depth in my upcoming March 27 webinar on the Great Awakening versus the Global Reset. How full disclosure trumps AI and transhumanism. And you can learn more details on my website, exopolitics.org. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to Exopolitics Today.